I'm Mark Brown.
It's J. Duke.
And I'm Marquay McCullough.
And this is Mark My Words.
I think you can mark my words when I say I will be the 2020-2021 Mr. Basketball. I'm definitely going to achieve that this year.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mark My Words podcast. Special guest today, we got JP Pegues. How you feeling, man?
Well, I'm feeling good, man. It's a good Friday.
Yeah.
Pretty early.
For sure. Man, it's been a crazy year. 2020's been a crazy year, man. Just life for everybody. But in particular, with basketball, this has been a different year, and I don't think any athlete can say that they've been through what we're facing now. Just kind of tell us how has COVID affected JP, the basketball player?
I would say when it first hit, I was completely confused. Like, I had just came off, a real good season. I was on a roll. I hit the game-winning shot to go to state, and I'm thinking, right then, well, now this is my time where I can get my name out there, get to coaches, perform in Murfreesboro. But after all that, I was just kind of asking, like, God, why? Kind of. And I kind of feel like at the same time it was a blessing in disguise.
Right.
Because it gave me time to get in the gym, get better, work on my game. And I feel like that's really what I needed, because after having a talk with my parents, I kind of knew that I had to lock in. Mm-hmm. So basically I started to, work out every day, get serious about my craft. And coming out of AAU, that first tournament when they let us come back, that was kind of, that was my point. After that first tournament, I started to get a couple calls and stuff like that. I feel like it really helped me. So I feel like I can say that COVID actually benefited me.
Right. Which was kind of the next question I had. Would you say it was for better or for worse? Because, like yourself, your team, Hillsboro, y'all were a group that were gearing up to go play in the state tournament. And the state tournament, that's where, everybody comes out to watch. And, out of the 8 teams that was going to be there, I mean, you had some guys that maybe that was their, like you kind of had some stuff brewing, you kind of had some college or some recruiters that were interested. But for some guys, they needed to get to the state tournament. Now you want to continue to play. Yeah. And just that experience alone is, that's a once in a lifetime thing. For guys getting to the next level, they might have needed to get to Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
And, or AAU or whatever the case may be, a lot of guys are like, man, this, that, and the third happened, or this is not fair, or why me, or why did it have to end this way? And those are, you can't knock guys for feeling that way, but I it seems like you kind of took what was dealt with you and you flipped it. And, it's like, well, okay, instead of crying about not going to state or not being able to play AAU, I got a lot of time on my hands. So, whether we're not really going to school or whatever the case may be, that's more time I can get in the gym, I can get in the weight room, I can get with my trainers.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way at one point, because at that time, I was maybe talking to one or no coaches at all. So in my mind, one, this is the last time. This is probably the best group of, as a team that I've played with in all of my career, basically. And, once they said it was postponed or suspended, I still had just, a little hope, because they did say if we go back to school, I'd be able to, continue the tournament. But, I mean, really, as a player, man, it's just, it depends on how you can take it. I'm a pretty optimistic person, so I'm thinking, okay, I know there's something I can make out of this. There's still a way. There's no way that, after all these years, that it would end like this.
Right.
So, but really, man, it's sad, man. It's heartbreaking. Yeah. Like, especially for the seniors, I wish I could have did so much for them, because really I like this season, I really played this season for them. Like I know they hadn't been through anything. You know, it was a team goal to make it to the state championship, but I just wanted it more for them than myself.
Right.
You know, so just seeing that stuff, man, it's you really just become lost.
Yeah.
Because at one point it's just like why did it have to happen now? You know, it was just wrong timing. But like I said, man, it's just really how you take it, basically.
Transitioning into like player development, you know what I'm saying, and growth. Before we get into like your game, you know what I'm saying, what's your go-tos and stuff, who are players that you admire, and then like are those same players you take pieces of their game, and who do you model your game after?
Yeah, it's definitely a few players. I try to take some from Chris Paul, you know, Damian Lillard, and Steph. Those because I think they're the most creative point guards in our game right now. So much as, you know, taking pieces from people's game. Like, I wish I could have Dame's killer mentality. Like, that's all he knows, kill, kill, kill. Chris Paul might be one of the smartest basketball players in the NBA. Like, he knows all the mechanics and the basics. And, you know, Steph Curry, of course, you know, his shot, his leadership, you would think, you know, even though he was on the team with all those superstars, he still was the definite leader. You could tell he was a leader, and he performed, and really his work ethic.
Right.
Like, I've watched so many videos on, you know, what his routine is going through a day of workout or something like that. Just seeing all that, it's kind of inspirational, kind of. Because me knowing that this is what I have to do to accomplish my goal. So I think those three players are the people I kind of, you know, model my game after, because I'm knowing that I'm gonna have to be a true point guard.
On the court, what would you say is your go-to? Whether that could be like a certain shot or a certain move, you know what I'm saying?
I think I used to be a person who just likes to get to the basket a lot and make the smart play. But kind of like my snatch back or step back will probably be my favorite go-to move, because people, you know, they start to know me and knowing that I'm a person who's trying to get in the paint, just make the smart basketball play. So once I started, you know, stepping back, I kind of had, you know, just had them lost, and the shot it was more open than I expected.
Who you think got the best step back in the league? You got Harden, you got Luka, Steph got a nice one.
People say Harden, but honestly, I think Luka has the best step back.
Luka get that separation, bro.
Yeah, crazy. Like it's like he just plays with so much lean, and he gets you off balance, and he's so big, you wouldn't be able to think that he can move like that.
He's not the fastest or the quickest either, but
at all. And it's like you don't see it coming either.
Right. So what would you say? What would you say some things, and don't give anybody a scouting report, but what would you say are some things that you think you can improve, some areas you think you can improve, or what are some things right now that you're working on? I want to add this to my game to kind of, you know, build my repertoire.
I would most definitely think right now that I'm working on my range. You know, I'm trying to be more of a consistent shooter, more than a streaky shooter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'd probably work on, you know, just my one dribble pull-ups a lot. Just, you know, making sure I'm high pointing the ball and getting up in the air a lot. Trying to develop, I want to play with a little more lean, and, you know, get stronger. So those times where I'm getting to the basket, because really I'm trying to work on using my body. So, you know, just getting the defender on my shoulder and, you know, making the right moves, necessarily more than just hoping for some contact, rather than so now I can finish the contact regardless.
So, talk about training, man. Who you know, who's your trainer, or who are some guys that you like getting in the gym with?
My trainer is Will Thomas. He's I met him probably back when I was in 5th, 6th grade maybe. At first, you know, it's crazy to me because the same stuff we used to work on back then is the same stuff that we work on now. And it's crazy because as like I look at videos and stuff, and it's like it all comes in. I don't even know how to just specifically describe it, but it all comes to place.
Yeah.
People may think what he's doing is so simple
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but he's really teaching you the little things to work
Right,
on.
yeah.
So, he might not be the trainer that has you doing, okay, let me 2 crossovers behind the back, because really what he emphasizes no wasted motion.
Right.
Every move you make should be with a purpose.
Right.
So we kind of work on those little things, and I'll get in the gym with guys like me, PJ Smith, a good pastor, Brandon Miller,
Yeah.
Ryan Oliver, Kayla Wilson, just all of us, Really, it's really most of us, and then, we got Asa.
Yeah.
He gets in there with us a lot.
Yeah.
And really, I like that because, one, everybody's good.
Right.
Everybody's, a pretty good basketball player. It's real competitive and it's real fun. Like, those are guys that I wouldn't want to be in the gym with anybody else but them, because we're all becoming better and we're all working on our game. Really it's starting to bond into like a real friendship type, It's really, you just have to be able to see it to just know. Like,
it's probably one of those you got to be there to really get a grasp with.
Really get a grasp.
But yeah, man, I know you're preparing for your senior year, but as you get older, man, as you move on to college, man, you'll start to learn that, and you may be learning now, but you are the company you keep. You get what I'm saying? And it's one of those, like, family is family. You have, people that you have befriended, or they're close ones or loved ones or schoolmates, things of that nature. But as a basketball player, as a, future college basketball player, and whatever aspirations you have with the game of basketball, or even in life, man, you are the company you keep. So, you naming guys like PJ Smith and Brandon Miller, like, those are guys that are well respected and that are going to play big time college basketball themselves. And just being in a vicinity, or being in the gym and in workouts or pickup, or just being on the floor with those guys, you have no choice but to up your game. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're either doing that, or it's, I don't want to be on, Brandon Miller's highlight. And so you kind of taking the back seat. But, man, every opportunity, little advice from me, man, every opportunity you get to step on the floor with guys like that, man, attack them. You know what I'm saying? And what that builds is, you're competing and you're getting better, but you're also making those guys better. You get a lot of guys that kind of shy away from the competition because they don't want to make a highlight, or they don't want to get, he gonna make me look silly. Man, that's cowardice. You know what I'm saying? It's cowardice. So yeah, every chance you get, man, whether if it's now, high school, workout, college, you step on the floor, man. It don't matter who it is, go at them. They gotta respect JP just like you gonna respect those guys. So
I think that definitely builds more of a respecting kind of, like, when I'm with those guys, I know at any time they can catch me slipping at any time, anything like that. So I wouldn't be afraid to be pulling a highlight, but also they know that you're gonna have to come at your best when you're playing with me too.
Right.
Like that's something that's kind of key, is respecting each other and knowing what the goal is. Like, we're here to make each other better, so I'm gonna give you my best and you give me your best.
Right. Let's recap, man. Let's go back to the start of our junior year. Man, when did it click? We're going through preseason, whether it be summer, team camps, workouts, conditioning, stuff like that. Then, season starts, November, December. And then it's just like JP catches fire, and we catch fire, and it's, that leads us into, district play, and then we get into postseason, and then that even led up to the game-winning shot that gave you guys a berth to the state tournament. But just kind of talk about your journey going to, the start of your junior year, and how that kind of, how that momentum led up.
Starting out, the summer going into my junior year, that's when us as a team, we always take a trip to Memphis. And it's something that's supposed to be fun, team bonding. Like we go down there, play a couple games, and as I'm down there, I'm doing pretty well, but I'm noticing not only me but all the other teams, all these top name players that's coming through. So as we're playing them, I'm comparing myself and seeing what they're doing different.
Right.
So I could just little things like aggressiveness and being a little more vocal, trying to develop into that leadership role. About when the season started, I was doing that, I was hitting my goals, hitting my averages that I want to do. But as the season kept going, I kind of started to be just a little bit inconsistent. Mm-hmm. So probably we lost like our third or fourth game in the Hunters Lane at home. I mean, I was disappointed, really. We kind of had like, a discussion in practice the next day about it. And after that, I kind of went home and talked to my parents, and they just told me like, if you really want it, you got to go get it. Mm-hmm. So, I just prayed about it, talked about it, and I just, knew that if I wanted to do what I wanted to do and reach my goals and bring this team along, I would have to, take a major step. So I kind of gained confidence each game. Mm-hmm. Once I told myself, okay, basically, whatever you're doing right now is helping y'all win. So there's no point of you stopping to do that no matter what nobody says or how anybody feels. Because at the end of the day, the team goal was to win and go to the state championship. Right. Basically, after that, I just really started to say, okay, this is the JP, this is the JP you are. So there's no point in stopping no time soon. This should be, you should be this every game. This should be something that everybody knows is going to come and what's going to happen.
You committed to Furman. Mm-hmm. What made Furman the right choice for JP? Because a lot of young prospects, they look for different things, in different schools. What were you looking for, and what made Furman the right choice for you?
One, I kind of consider myself a little bit different because now the new thing and the new trend is, okay, let me be the hometown hero. Mm-hmm. Let me stay home, which is kind of what everybody had, suggested me to do.
Yeah.
Just, I know it's basketball, but at the same time, I still need to, and start investing and looking into, what I want to do in life. Right. So I kind of use that as, okay, Furman's in Greenville, South Carolina. I've never been here before. Let me go check it out. Just trying to explore basically. Right. And also with that, I mean, Furman, they went like above and beyond to make sure that I was their number one priority. You can really tell, I will say, you can really tell when something's genuine and when it feels right. Right. You might not know why, but you just kind of get that feeling. Mm-hmm. So I just think, for me and my family, it was just the right decision for me. I feel like I can make the biggest impact going to this school the earliest.
So what are some things, in maybe high school or maybe your recruiting journey, let's put basketball aside. What are some things you've learned as far as academics and opportunities outside of basketball that you kind of think about day to day, and that you can kind of see yourself, having an opportunity to take on at Furman?
Mm-hmm. Definitely I can see just by taking that trip how important academics is, especially through my recruiting process. Luckily, with me, being in the household that I am, grades are a number one priority.
Right.
It's definitely academics before extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
And so seeing that, and even just seeing how, for example, just coaches, you have to have good grades. Right. Kind of, everybody knows. People might not think that's true depending on who you are, but for everybody, grades is something that matters. Yeah. Just in life, being smart and prioritizing is something that is big to me. And even at Furman, all these, programs mm-hmm. and things you're doing and just everything, outside of basketball and in life is just as important as, basketball itself.
Yeah. because man, you're gonna find yourself, and it's one of those, and you'll see it as soon as you get there. Like we talk about a lot, you know, guys have aspirations to play college basketball, go D1. You know, every kid, you ask them what they do, they want to go to the NBA. But what we tend not to think about is the many opportunities outside of basketball that come with that. For example, you mentioned guys like Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, all of those guys. Now they're phenomenal athletes. They're some of the best basketball players that we've ever seen. But those guys have endorsement deals. They invest. They do community outreach. Chris Paul has been huge in you know, within social issues and voting and things like that. It's those type of opportunities that come with your next level. With your next level, you know, is college basketball, Division I basketball, and it's, man, you're gonna rub elbows with man, so many different people. You've been a part of Furman basketball. That's gonna open up so many doors that you wouldn't even thought of. But you know, we tend to not think about those type of things. It's just we make it strictly about basketball, and that's fine. And because basketball is a vehicle that can take you from, you know, this part of your life to the next part, and whatever the case may be. But man, it's so much. The world has so much more to offer. But if we're so closed-minded on one thing, we kind of lose sight or maybe lose opportunity. You know, like I said, on what the world has to offer. So, man, going back to basketball, man. Who would you say? And I know you've mentioned some guys before, but man, just kind of talk about some of the most competitive matchups that you've had, you know, over high school or AAU, or maybe some of the best teams you've played.
Well, starting with high school, the hardest matchup for me was probably both times we played Cane Ridge. Of course, I had to guard Brandon, and you know, people can say what they want to say about him, but you never really know until you're out there.
Yeah.
Like he's just so long and smart. Like, honestly, I think like one thing I prioritize myself on in the game is defense.
Yeah.
I could be getting, because one thing, defense leads to offense. I could be scoring as many points as I can, but if my man has, you know, 18 and the rest of the team has 9 and 8, then I'm gonna feel like I did a horrible job.
Right.
But it's really hard. I can say that. Like, the first game, I made him, you know, foul out, but he still had 25.
Right.
Like, the second game, he had 25, and I was really trying, you know, my hardest, but it was so difficult. And then, like another game, I can say, this AAU season, it's this guy named Scooter. It's like Scooter Henderson. He's a guy out of Atlanta, plays for, what is it, Game Elite.
Right.
And he that's probably the hardest. I ain't gonna lie, he just gave me buckets. Like, that's the hardest guy I've had to guard. Like, and it wasn't even, you know, threes. It's not like he was out there busting me or nothing like that. He was just getting to the rack. Like,
Yeah.
he gave me an efficient 30. Like, every time he took me to the rack and ones, you know, I'm doing the best I can, but you know, it's pretty hard.
But you get some guys who shy away from that. You get what I'm saying? You know, I mean, those are two tough matchups. I mean, you know, just Brandon alone. I mean, that's a top 5 guy in his class, if not the country. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you don't see that every night, but you know, you have guys that may, or even teams that may kind of shy away from that. But you seem like a guy that you embrace those challenges.
Mm-hmm. Like we said earlier, it's kind of like a respect thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not intimidated by anybody. You know, you put your jersey on the same way I put my jersey on.
Right.
And, you know, it's just like, I'm the person who definitely is going to step up and take that challenge just because how competitive I am, how bad, you know, I want to win. Mm-hmm. So it's not really you know, he's a 5-star. Yeah. you know, it may look good on paper, but you have to show me really.
Yeah.
Which I think both of those players definitely proved that. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But you know, still, you definitely can't come into my house and just taunt and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you really gonna have to show me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I would say, and I'm not saying this because you here on the show, man. You know, around January, when late December, January, when basketball is really starting to pick up, and man, you know, I'm subscribed to Ball All Day, and I'm getting these alerts, and you know, Hillsboro this, Hillsboro that, you know, and I'm just like, man, I really need to tune in to this JP kid, and the more I watched you, and then I watched you guys in person, I said, man, this kid is one of my favorite to watch in the city. And it's not so much your skill level. You're talented, and that's clear as day. But I said the reason why I like watching this kid play, he actually loves – it seems like he loves the game of – he likes to play basketball. And I think that, you know, love for the game, I think that kind of gets misconstrued or it's kind of thrown out there loosely. I think everybody likes basketball. Everybody loves playing, but man, it's a certain passion or a certain drive. Like guys in the NBA, I know those guys like to hoop. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're getting paid to do. It's something they've dreamed. But guys like, you know, the Kobe Bryants and the LeBron Jameses, the Kevin Durant's, the Kyries, like the attention to detail and just – it's almost like they breathe basketball and don't get the big head. I'm not, you know, but what I'm getting to is, you know, as I'm watching you play, I see that same fire in your eyes, and I see it on the defensive end, which, you know, we're in an era where everybody wants to dribble the ball, everybody wants to score the ball, everybody wants to shoot threes, but you got to stop the other team or the other opponent from scoring. You know, that's the name of the game as well. But I enjoy that watching you play because it's just like I can see the fumes coming from you, and it just seems like you love playing the game, and then your teammates feed off of that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think most of the time, in which one of my old coaches told me was, the little things are the things that come to bite you in the butt, you know, in the long run. So I really took in what he said and embraced that. And I just feel like if I work on the little things now, I'll be able to use it in my benefit. Just like you said, on both sides of the ball. You know, of course, like, it may not seem like it, but I like defense more than offense. Right. I'm the person who's going to, you know, lock you down, get you frustrated, clap in your face. Yeah. You know, just those little things, you know, get you irritated and get you out of your game. Yeah. Those are like one of my favorite things to do. I just feel like things like that were the things that helped me be at the point where I am now. Because alone, just personally, if I thought that me scoring 19 points a game were going to get me a D1 college, I definitely wouldn't be at one right now. Right. I think that I had to bring a little more than just my offensive arsenal, offensive skill set to get me where I'm at now.
Who would you say, you know, because, I mean, you've named, you know, many things that you don't hear often, you know, from young athletes. Who would you say, you know, maybe inspired you or kind of just giving you some nuggets that, you know, you're talented, but so are hundreds or, you know, thousands of other kids are talented, but JP has to find some things that make him stick out. You know, everybody can shoot the ball, everybody can dribble the ball, whatever, but who would you say has inspired you or has kind of taught you that, hey man, we got to find some things that'll help you stick out from the rest of the pack?
As well, I can say this for myself. One thing I did once, you know, my coach had told me, you know, you need to start finding little things, or I went and watched a full defensive highlight on Patrick Beverly and a full defensive highlight on Tony Allen. For me, like, the little things they did, it's just the fire. Like, you can't teach that.
Right.
Like, you have to really become that. So after that, I just kind of bought into the system. I'm thinking, okay, let me do these little things, these little tactics they're doing, that I can see how disciplined Patrick Beverly is. Yeah. He may seem like a little scrappy in that, but at the same time, he's real disciplined, and so is Tony Allen. Mm-hmm. He was the one that you can do all that dribbling and this and that, but once you get to the basket and you try to do some fancy layup, he slip right out your hand. Yeah. So I think those things are the things that really helped me stood out. And also, like, during AAU, when I really wasn't bought into the system, I used to just get mixed. Yeah. Like, slipping, reaching everywhere. Like, I just looked a fool out there, and that used to embarrass me. I didn't like that either.
Right. So, well, what Tony Allen say, J. Duke?
What he say, first team? Or the first team? Fat Bev do that too.
Man, we like to create a little smoke on the show, man. So, man, how is, as a teams throughout the city, how is Hillsboro coming this year?
I'm definitely gonna say that we're making it back to state. Okay. Like, I think that fire that I got now, that I'm even more hungry than I was before. Yeah. And I just don't see anybody getting in the way of us, honestly.
And you guys created a lot of momentum, despite the season being ended or canceled. You guys created a lot of momentum, but you also gained a lot of experience as well. Not many guys can say that, they made it a sub-state, let alone, now you guys didn't physically make it to state, but, you guys someday will get to be on a banner in Hillsboro's gym, and, the 1920 team, led by JP, can say that, they made it to state. So, man, before we head out, man, what can we mark your words on, man?
I think you can mark my words when I say I will be the 2020-2021 Mr. Basketball. I think I'm definitely gonna achieve that this year.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you coming on the show, man.
What's going on, everybody? It's J. Duke.
My name is Mark Brown.
Hey, bro, come on, turn up, man. You gotta wake up, bro.
What's good, y'all? My name is Mark Brown.
Make sure y'all keep watching, man. We got great content on the way. Make sure y'all keep checking us out.